Hey there, and what is up, YouTube friends? It's your bud, the Console Peanut. So today's video will start a new series centering on Battlefield Hardline. And today I'm going to look at why Battlefield Hardline makes a better competitive game than Battlefield 4. But is it enough to secure the Battlefield franchise a place in the competitive scene? I guess the only good answer to that question is a big maybe, because the game isn't released yet. And everything I discuss at this point is press releases, leaked details, and my personal experience playing the alpha and the beta. So the number one reason the Battlefield series has improved in a competitive sense is the map design. And don't take me wrong on this, I love some of the maps on Battlefield 4. The ability to take an elevator to the top of Siege of Shanghai, clear the tower, and then parachute onto an unexpected tank with some C4 biscuits is epic. But this doesn't make maps like Shanghai good for competitive gaming. While the developers at DICE did reduce playable map size for game modes like Obliteration and Defuse, the maps are still designed for conquest and are asymmetrical with far too long of engagement distances and sight lines. And this leads to one team often gaining an advantage with poorly planned spawn points, easily finding a head glitch location, and watching the other team clumsy out of their own poorly designed spawn. Now, Battlefield Hardline, which I'm sure will have large maps that are bad for competitive gameplay, and I'm looking at you, Dust Bowl, it seems to have a high emphasis on close quarter strategic gameplay, specifically designed for tactical game modes and competitive play. And an excellent example of this was Bank Job. The game had an excellent power struggle for the central capture point, but provided enough lanes to prevent a complete mumbo-jumbo of players that we saw so much of in Operation Metro and Operation Locker. Now, somewhat of a controversial topic ongoing in Hardline is the strong lack of destruction on some of these maps. While the developers have ensured that more destruction will be in future maps, which conveniently will be revealed at launch, the lack of destruction leaves a sour taste for some veteran Battlefielders, who have come to expect greater destruction in the next Battlefield release, and definitely not less. However, reducing the destruction on certain maps can be important for Battlefield's establishment as a competitive FPS. Memorizing frequented lanes, knowing the powerful Overwatch positions and how to hold them, and creating position callouts is an important aspect of many a competitive video game. When the map becomes dynamic and your planned escape lane with the hostage has been reduced to a pile of rubble, strategic competitive planning kinda goes out the window. I think a good remedy for this tricky balance of destruction versus competitive maps is to tailor maps for their specific roles, which hopefully will happen in the full release. Game modes that are large and chaotic, such as Conquest and Hotwire, should have greater destruction and should be played on larger maps, while the modes for the competitive community should have maps specifically tailored for these game modes. From what we've seen so far in the beta, this actually seems to be the case, and it has me incredibly excited to play Hardline. The next way that Hardline improves over Battlefield 4 is the game modes that are tailored for competitive play. Rescue mode will provide a similar feel to the Counter-Strike player, as it provides the virtually identical experience. 2 captives, 2 5-man teams, police have to get the hostages out, and criminals have to stop them. Sounds familiar. Now, while I'm excited for this mode, I also have some resignations. And you might be asking, why, man? If you cookie cut it from Counter-Strike, how in the world can it be bad? Well, my friends, EA has got that figured out. As soon as the hostage is picked up, a big 3D spot is placed on the hostage carrier. Every single criminal on the map will be able to see exactly where you are, through walls, everywhere, and any form of strategic escape is rendered pointless. Now, to be fair to Visceral and EA, this mode wasn't even released at the beta and was instead provided to a closed group of YouTubers and playtesters. Visceral has said that they act on advice received from playtesters, so maybe we will see the stupid big 3D indicator removed by the release of the game. We can all pray to the Battlefield gods, I guess. The second game mode that looks interesting for competitive gameplay is the Crosshair game mode. Now, while there has yet to be any form of gameplay released besides a brief snippet in a trailer, the premise behind the game mode is this. In Crosshair, a former criminal turned state's witness is on the run from his former crew. The criminals are trying to erase the VIP's face from the world, while the cops are trying to get him out safely. Once again, there's no second chances. One death and you're out for the match. The difference between Crosshair and Rescue is that key detail that the criminal to be escorted is a playable character. So I guess you could say this might make the person to be escorted have higher intelligence than an AI counterpart, but matchmaking with randoms on the battlefield has sometimes not proven worthwhile. Which leads to my final point, that the Visceral crowd needs to create a solid ranked matchmaking system to make this game work as a competitive game mode. While the current system in Battlefield 4 does allow custom settings on servers and the ability to set up teams easily, the community will not grow unless players are able to enlist in a ranked system and compete with players on their level. Without a proper competitive ranking system, such as that implemented by Counter-Strike currently, I honestly cannot see the competitive community growing to be that big of a size. But that's it for me today, guys, and thank you for listening to my thoughts on the prospect of Battlefield Hardline performing on the competitive circuit. But I want to hear if you guys think Hardline will succeed as a competitive game, and what could be changed to make it better in the competitive aspect. So leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future.